Cheryl. I wanted to record a video today on some potential dupes or alternatives to the Sigma kabuki brushes. When I say the Sigma kabuki brushes, I mean the F80, the F86, the F82, and the F84. So right here are the Sigma brushes, and here is potential dupes or alternatives by a company called Royal Cosmetics that I found on Amazon the other day. So my story goes that I wanted to get a second F80 brush, or replace my second F80 brush, I should say. I accidentally lost it when I was traveling not too long ago, and this is my absolute favorite brush, and I have a hard time cleaning it anyway, and it's kind of a pain in the you-know-what to clean. So I always like to have a second one handy, and I've really kind of felt the difference recently since haven't had my second backup. So I actually had an Amazon gift card, so I thought, why not? Let me see if I can purchase Sigma products on Amazon. So I searched what I was looking for and popped up these brushes. So I was very curious, so I decided to order a set. It was a set of 4, and I believe it was $19.96 for 4 brushes. And I believe one Sigma brush is just slightly less than that. I want to say it's like $17. I'll put the exact price and a link to everything on the Sigma site in the description bar, as well as the link to everything on the Royal Cosmetics site, or where you can purchase it on Amazon as well. So again, the brushes I'll be reviewing are the F80, F82, F84, and F86. So let's get started with the F80, which is my favorite brush. So in my left hand is the Sigma brush, and in my right hand is the Royal Cosmetics brush. Okay, I just wanted to zoom in a little bit so you guys could see a little bit better. So the first thing I notice is that the Sigma brush is a little bit taller. So this is the Sigma brush right here, and this is a little bit taller. Now, the other thing I notice is that the Royal Cosmetics brush is a little bit, wider. Now, the other thing I notice is that the Sigma brush is very, I mean, if you've used this before, you already, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. It's very dense. The bristles are packed very tightly together. This brush, the Royal Cosmetics brush, the bristles are packed pretty densely. However, they're not as tight. They're a little bit more flexible. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad brush, but I'm just not sure I would consider it an exact F80 dupe. I think it would probably perform pretty well on putting on a liquid foundation, which is pretty much what I use my F80 for all the time. I am going to do a demonstration. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow morning. I received these in the mail yesterday, and I just haven't had a chance to use them. My schedule's been a little bit crazy this week. So I am working from home tomorrow, so I'm hoping to have some time to actually play with them. But this is, again, the Royal Cosmetics brush, and it looks like this. Like I said, pretty dense. And here's the Sigma one for comparison. And if you go like this against your hand, there's very little movement on the Sigma side. You don't see it, I mean, you see it flatten out a little bit, but not to the point where this is the Royal Cosmetics. This one's a little bit more flexible. So far, I wouldn't consider this brush, and I don't know of an exact name of it. It wasn't actually on the package. It was just called, I believe, the Flat Top Kabuki, I believe. I wouldn't actually call this an exact dupe. However, what I would call it is an alternative. If you didn't want to spend, or didn't have the money to spend that kind of money on one brush, or if you're looking for a backup, or maybe just to try something different, I definitely think it's a really good alternative. The next one we're going to look at is the F86. This looks like. The F86 is a pointed top kabuki. In my left hand is the Sigma brush, right hand is the Royal Cosmetics. So if we look at this, the first thing I notice off the bat is the Sigma brush is much pointier than the Royal Cosmetics brush. It is also much taller, as well as the barrel seems to sit a little bit higher. The other thing I noticed is that this is a little bit more flexible. The Royal Cosmetics brush is a little bit more flexible than the Sigma brush. Now, I don't know, one thing I can't tell you, one thing I need to get some brush guards, obviously, is that my F86 brush from Sigma, this one, I don't know if this is the actual shape. You can see it's a little distorted. I washed it the other day. I really do need to get, so, you know, I'm not sure if this is actually the shape, how it comes. This is kind of how I like to keep mine. I tend to use this for concealers and places I want to highlight with maybe some, you know, liquid or cream highlighter. But again, it's not a bad brush. It's made really, really well. I don't think it's going to come apart anytime soon. The barrel's on there really good. And that's one thing I always look at when I'm looking at brushes is how's the barrel on there? Because I find sometimes when you go a little bit cheaper on brushes, that's the first thing is the barrel seems to be a little bit looser. The next brush is the F82. My left hand is the F82. The right is the Royal Cosmetics version. The thing I will notice, they're about the same height. And the thing I noticed right off the bat is this one from Royal Cosmetics is actually much bigger. If you actually look at that, much bigger. And I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just different. Like I said, it's more of an alternative than a dupe. So if we actually look at this brush, if you ever used it, it's extremely densely packed. It's extremely hard. It's great for putting on like your MSF Natural or buffing anything into the skin. It's really great brush. And you see you get very little movement when you push down. On the Royal Cosmetics brush, you get a lot of movement. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I think it would perform pretty well. It's just, I don't think these are dupes, more alternatives. But as far as height, I think they're pretty much the same. Like, then the last one is the F84. So I would actually not consider these dupes really at all. So the F84 is a angled kabuki brush. This is a great brush to use. This was the other brush that was sent in the package. I really don't think this is an alternative or comparable. It's just a totally different shape. This is almost like the F82 but at a slant, where this is a true, you know, chiseled, angled kabuki brush, where this is just at a slant. So I'm not really sure if you can compare them. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with this brush. Again, it's not nearly as dense as the Sigma brushes, but it doesn't mean I don't think it's going to be a bad brush. Like I said, they're made very well. Here it is up close. Let that focus. That's what it looks like. I think that they're, you know, very good brushes. I'm excited to actually try them and see how they perform. But I don't think that you can go ahead and buy them and say, oh, these are going to be exact Sigma dupes. These are going to be something where Sigma and this company, Royal Cosmetics, are using the exact same manufacturer and just slapping their name on it. No, I don't think that's the case at all. Do I think that Royal Cosmetics saw how successful Sigma was and tried to make similar brushes? It's possible. I have no idea how long this company's been in business. I've actually just heard of them as of last week. So, you know, I think it's a really good option if you're looking for backups, if you're looking for synthetic brushes, if you're looking for kabuki brushes that aren't necessarily on a little thing, that they're actually on a stick. But if you're looking to say, I want exact Sigma dupes that are exactly the same, and I want to pay 1/4 of the price, no, unfortunately, that's not what these are. So I would not call these exact dupes. I would call these alternatives. So if you have any questions on how these brushes perform, I will film me using the F80 and the F80 alternative by Royal Cosmetics. I'll try to film that tomorrow and get that up in the next couple of days. But if you have any questions on these brushes or want more details, I did post a few pictures on Instagram. If you're interested, and I'll link my Instagram below. But again, any questions, let me know. Any comments, would love to have your feedback. Have you tried these brushes? Have you found any Sigma dupes per se? Have you heard of this company before? Anything like that. And thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.